Welcome, everyone, to the Sith Dominion podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Dana Martin. With me this evening, we have Debbie and Zane. Cam will be joining in a while. Hello, Debbie. Hello, Zane. I'm going to take a different approach because my attitude in the beginning of the show, I made a lot of mistakes and we just started. So we're just gonna have a nice chill evening. How's that? I mean, there's nothing like saying, "All right, start stream 5, 4, 3, 2, 1," and we're all looking at each other. I mean, it's beautiful. And Zane's like, "Oh, I got it." Yeah, we'll blame that on you, Zane. No, hey everybody, welcome to the Sith Dominion podcast. I'm real excited. This is like gonna be my favorite episode because we get to focus on dark side, Anakin's move into Vader, all within the Revenge of the Sith, which is by far the best prequel, 100%. And if you think otherwise, go find another planet to live on. Yeah.
Go to Alderaan.
Take your box of Alderaan and go home. Oh, you can't. Oh, too soon. Oh, take your box of Alderaan. You know what? There's something about this episode. I thought, growing up, we Debbie and I, I'm gonna say, we've looked forward to the things that occurred in that movie our entire lives, to see them played out either animated or on stage. We needed to see it because we didn't truly know. That was faux pas, but the authors steered away from telling those pieces of the story, as well they should. Lucas had already told them, don't do it. And while he had some control at Del Rey and at the other, he was like, do whatever you got to do. My movies are canon. But people were still trying to respect some of that. So I always thought that was cool. But yeah, before we start doing all the little bits of news and whatnot, just high level, Revenge of the Sith, you guys said, yeah, you dig it. I missed. What we got? Also, my favorite Star Wars film. Wait, what? What year did this film come out?
05, I think.
Holy cow.
Was it 05?
Yes, no yes, I feel old.
No, there's no way.
I was born opening weekend for
07, 08?
I have a story. My Revenge of the Sith story.
05.
Again, we waited our entire lives for this moment of this saber fight between these two, and I was interrupted. And I will tell this story not on this show, but I will tell this story. Yes. I know, right, Cam? Better vibe without that one guy yapping about how.
Man, the sequels. Talk about one of the best.
We hadn't even gotten to that set of shows. So high level. I mean, yeah, it's one of the best. Yes. I mean, if you think otherwise, like I said, you're ridiculous.
I mean, it is the best, but to each their own. Some people say it's Empire, some people say it's Revenge of the Jedi. Revenge of the Jedi.
Well, I have favorites in each trilogy. That's how I go by it. This is the one that's my favorite for the prequels, Empire for the originals, and then Force Awakens for the sequels.
I'm down with the Rise of Skywalker. I feel like you've got that arc finishing up with Ben Solo / Empire is the GOAT.
It is the second best.
It's my second best Empire.
It is the second best. We can agree on that. It is the second best.
It is. The first Revenge of the Jedi, 100%.
Yes, Revenge of the Sith.
Yes. Revenge of the Jedi, however. I mean, on that note, just some news for the show. We've been working on some merch. I told you guys that I'm really close to having that because I want us to have shirts when we go to College Station Comic-Con, so we can kind of promote our show to all the college students here at Texas A&M. And our next several shows, we've got some guests coming. No, I haven't. I don't know. I have cotton mouth already, and so my tongue feels like it's filling up my mouth. I haven't even barely. Oh gosh, just stop. I'm not taking off the shirt, Cameron. So next week we are doing Rogue One from the Sith perspective. Yeah, I'm really excited. The problem with next week is we will be missing two of our co-hosts. Cameron will not be here, nor will Zane. Now, who is running who is running the scroller now? Zane, Debbie,
Not me.
one. Okay, both show me your hands. So we'll have two folks gone. I have not. That just kind of hit me today. Really understanding that we're not going to have, but Debbie and I. And while Debbie and I can absolutely carry a show, we have before. Anyone want to come bail me and Debbie out of being just her and I on a show? No, it would be absolutely awesome like it was last time, except this is Rogue One, and I know people are gonna I would love to hear more ideas about what's happening from the Sith perspective from others, right? We get, I think, a little more of Vader behind the scenes and things, which I've got some thoughts on. But I'm excited. I think it'll be a fun show.
You might see if Fur wants to come on, because I know that's his favorite movie.
Okay. Yeah, we'll get I'll reach out to Fur. Fur, if you're watching, Darth Zane, see if you want to pop on the show. Oh, and if Cam's not here, then you two can't say things that aren't equal. So, because last time Fur was here, I don't think they agreed on anything. So, and that was great. It made for great for us. We were just sitting back watching.
Great content.
I don't always agree with Cam.
Who does? Oh, is he still watching?
Did you say that?
It wasn't me.
Did I do that?
Did I do that?
All right. So after the 3rd, which is next week, we have Rogue One. Then we're gonna do the OG trilogy: A New Hope, ESB, and ROTJ. No, not everybody. Come on, Cameron.
We love you, Cam.
Yeah, absolutely. He knows. He actually, takes this, I think, a little more seriously than I do. He gave me a ring to make sure I knew he wasn't going to be there, and I really appreciate that. Zane, it's like, oh, he told me 2 weeks ago, and that's all I get. I don't get the reminder. He's like, hey, I have a show, sucker. I'm off. All right,
I'll let you know, I'll let you know before, and I'll let you know a few days ago. So,
oh, yes, you did.
by a few, I mean more like a couple, but there's a difference.
Right. We have a couple of guests over the next few weeks as well. On the 10th, we have penciled in Alex, and once we are sure, we'll talk a little bit about Alex probably next week as an introduction for the following week. A New Hope, Alex, and for ESB, Janae is coming back on the show. Janae for ESB. And then the last week in September, we will be doing Revenge of the Jedi, Return of the Jedi. And for that, I think we have Andrew coming back to that show. So I'm excited. We've got a bunch of folks coming, and yeah, we'll definitely reach out to Fur and see if he wants to pop on. And yeah, if you want to jump on to Andrew, I guess you can. Just
Sorry, Andrew.
I love when I know, right? I love it when Andrew's on.
He's just a baby.
I know. It's good. I always want, I've always been, and Zane could probably attest. I mean, when I'm in a position where I feel like there's opportunity with younger folks to be a certain way and be an example and whatever. So I feel like that when he's on the show, and I feel like I have to watch my mouth and not say the things that my mouth wants to say.
I know.
I can't say I'm the youngest by a lot. Yeah, I know. You're younger than my son, I think.
By
So,
like a year.
anyhow, we're really looking forward to those shows. I don't know that I've ever really sat down and looked at these from a more dark side point of view, and the happenings and goings ons that were occurring in those films. So it's been a fun ride. Any news on the horizon to discuss? I think the cancellations. I believe there was even more cancellations or announcements of things. But one of the interesting pieces that we brought up on the show before, and I don't want to beat a dead horse here, but the slate of films and shows that Disney Disney Plus, whatever, is releasing. Am I wrong in that the majority of them are sequels or something of that nature? That really there isn't anything original coming out of that studio in the next couple of years, mostly.
Yeah, we got Skeleton Crew coming by the end of the year, so that's new.
That's true.
Ahsoka, I don't know when that's coming out. Season 2, I assume they might be saving that announcement for Star Wars Celebration in Japan in next April.
Yeah.
And they may be saving a lot of announcements for that because they really didn't do a whole lot at D23 this year, Star Wars related, outside of the Skeleton Crew trailer. So they may be saving, I'm hoping, saving a lot for Celebration in April in Japan.
Yeah, I kind of feel like someone popped the balloon. Like it just was.
I just read the chat.
Come on, post
Andrew,
it. What do we?
Debbie has expanded my vocabulary by a lot.
Absolutely.
For those who don't know, I talk like a sailor.
She says that she does, but man, I mean, only whenever the camera's not on. Just kidding.
For the most part, I do drop F-bombs here and there. You know, I don't make the show R-rated yet.
We may get there. No, it was something I was kind of looking through the slate of things, and it just seemed to me that there were more part 2s and season 2s and sequel type things occurring. Now, Skeleton Crew, you're right. It is, I guess, a fairly original idea. It's kind of what it Losty in space. I actually wondered if they were going to do a playoff expanded universe and have that as like Outbound Flight-ish, some sort of connecting, because that was where wasn't that where we saw Thrawn for the first time was in Outbound Flight? No. What was the first Thrawn?
It's been so long since I've read that. Isn't that like a bunch of people who are out to...
Technically, Thrawn, like timeline-wise, yeah, it was Outbound Flight and Legends.
Okay.
Canon-wise, it would be Chiss Ascendancy books. Technically, the second Thrawn book when he meets Anakin.
Yeah. Oh,
I love that book.
Man. So I'm stoked about that. I said I liked it. I was with GNN kind of shutting down later on. The going through and grabbing the articles that I'd written in. I was reading over the Skeleton Crew article, which was it was very neutral, just about what I thought they were going to be doing based on what we knew then, and wasn't too far off. I think we were pretty close, and we actually discussed it, I think, in the show. And so it's a kids show, but are you two excited about seeing something really refreshing and different? Like
it'll be like, it looks like Goonies.
Mm-hmm. Goonies in space, Lost in Space. Goonies Lost in Space.
Did y'all see the reboot of Lost in Space with Carl Parker Posey and all them. It's only 2 or 3 seasons, right? Or did they ever officially cancel it? Because they kind of left it.
There's either 3 or 4. They did close out the series
Okay.
properly. I mean, it just didn't get canceled, and we don't know what the hey happened. But yeah,
right. They got in the end. Yeah. Okay, I remember now. It's good. Okay. It's hard. PG-13. Debbie gives us a hard PG-13. Oh my goodness. A very hard awesome.
Andrew knows me so well.
It's good. It's good. Last little bit. I was going on to Temu today or yesterday.
They're selling your information.
You have to. Who isn't? If you go to back in the day, like several months ago, you would search like Vader, the term, and you would come up with a few things, kind of cool, whatever. You'd have to like Space Wizard Lord, and it would be all Vader stuff, like because of whatever licensing. I don't think they care anymore. If you go there and you just type in Vader, it's all kinds of fun stuff. So for 2 hours, I scrolled and I didn't buy anything, but I sure looked at all kinds of cool shit stuff. So I'm not saying go to that place because they may steal your information. I don't know. I just know they have all kinds of cool stuff right now that is Star Wars related, period. So that's a cool shirt, Debbie. Probably. Oh, jeez.
Probably. This thing's very old.
Nice. It's like tie-dyed, but hyperspace.
Mm-hmm.
I have a shirt on. It says I have issues.
Okay, that's it. No, I'm just kidding.
I even cut the sleeves off of them.
Take it off. Take it off.
Hold up. Where is it? Wait,
what?
Nah, let's do this one.
No.
There we go. I just thought I'd match the vibe.
So
Andrew.
all right, I'll post that, but I'm not saying that. Uh-oh.
Oh, bye, Debbie. Hello, Debbie.
Was I rude? I didn't even say any cuss words to get us kicked off.
I know. We just we're only 20 minutes in. Oh my goodness. Outlaws. I think I must have missed something this week on Outlaws. And that's the last bit of news. Cam was like, Outlaws is crap. And I don't know if it was Cam saying it's crap because Cam says it's crap. Or did I miss some gameplay or something that was released? What'd I miss?
Cam's crap corner. I have no idea.
Curmudgeon Cam's corner. Yeah,
I don't play video games, so I have no clue. I think some people have got early release, or maybe it hasn't been released. I've seen quite a few people playing it on Facebook or TikTok, so
really,
maybe it's been released and he's playing it.
We might be live streaming some Outlaw, not Outbound Flight. I didn't think it was out yet, but
what'd you say? Oh, if you pre-ordered it, you got it 3 days early.
Oh, with the what? The mission that's locked behind that paywall?
I have no clue. That's what my son just yelled at me.
Yeah, no, it's true. Yeah, they locked like a mission behind a paywall, which is crazy. You don't get the full game for buying the full game.
That's pretty messed up. I can't search anything because I have my VPN on by default.
What are you trying to search? I'll search it.
I was trying to search Outlaws.
Or
just to see what that gameplay was, or if it. I don't know. I think that's why I'm blurry.
I'm blurry, but I know it's because of my camera.
I wonder if I bounce. I know
someone gave it a 4 out of 10.
I gotta get off this. All right, let's hope I don't break it.
And
I seen Star Wars Theory was playing it earlier this morning.
I don't know. The gameplay looks kind of fun. It's just, is it really worth it? Is it really worth $130 for a full game? So, I mean, that's that much. I mean, think about it.
Not that much money.
Everything's locked behind a paywall. If you don't, you know what I mean? Sorry, a full game 3 days early. That's my bad. It's only
So maybe
100.
that's what's happening right now.
It's only 100, 110 for the normal full game, you know, with the
And I kept saying it's just a
extra
reskin.
mission
And you don't even get a physical copy, right?
Mm-mm.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
It's
First
like
cuss word of the night.
Right? No, you've already cussed twice more. No, this is like
one
your
F.
third.
That's what it was. We get one F because we keep this PG-13.
If I bounce, I'm coming right back. I swear to you. Don't bounce, Dana.
What if I bounce?
We're still back. We're rocking and rolling. Look at that.
Why do you got two? Why are you in a
What?
queue?
I'm not. It just looks like it. Because my old is all I did was disconnect my VPN. And so it has a hung session right now thinking that I'm on the other. But we're good. A hung session or wow, Debbie, I swear.
want to let you know there's
I'm
still...
sorry. Anything remotely dirty, that's where my mind goes.
Oh my goodness, a hung session. That's beautiful. All right, now I should be able to search. Okay, so when does it release then? I guess it releases later this week. This is early access, and then you have to pay a ton just to play it early, and then you don't even get the whole game unless you pay like a ton. So I did not. The weight of the bouncing. Yes, the weight of the bouncing. That's funny. I don't know that I want to play a game that I've already played twice because you can't convince me it's not a reskinned Jedi whatever or Jedi Survivor or whatever. Like right down to the little pet on the shoulder.
Okay, but we love BD.
But I did love BD. You're right. And then there was Dio. And now there's this little grunty thing. Like the porgs, like just stop already with the tiny things. I wanted to kick every Ewok. So no, just stop with
They're
the
for the
things.
kids, not for you.
Yeah. Who are you?
Yeah. Who made you boss?
Yeah, paying consumer. Yeah. Yeah. I love it though. I mean, it worked, right? Like if you don't, are you for real right now? I swear, I'm just gonna start over Tuesday. No, I don't want to relive Tuesday. God, no. I don't even know what I was about to say. I got distracted when I was fuzzy again.
Well, you were talking about Ewoks.
Yes,
Yeah,
whatever.
You hate
I hate
Ewoks.
them.
The little things.
Yeah, it's those little. It just, I get it. You wanna make something for the kids, but what did you have in the first one that was for kids? In A New Hope,
R2.
R2 and C-3PO, that was for the kids.
I'm assuming so, yeah. But people get bored of things.
Yeah. Speaking of getting bored, let's move on. Everybody's policy. Eris Korban. Jawad. Oh, the Jawas. Yeah, Jawad. I don't think that's what you meant.
Jawad. You Jawad.
Jawad. Awesome. All right. So when we left off last week, we had old help. We had old Dooku taking the arm of Anakin. We had Anakin going behind, a very dark side thing to do. going from behind the Jedi to marrying Padme's secret. Ultimately, over this time, he's impregnated her through the Force. I don't know. No one's ever told me how that happened.
It's through the kneecaps.
It's what?
Through the kneecaps.
The kneecaps? Cool.
Yeah.
Osmosis through the kneecaps. Aren't I a treat? Yes. So he definitely has had his struggles through Attack of the Clones. He's had his passion and compassion tested. I actually saw the clip from Clone Wars, the animated series. Sorry, the 10-part series, whatever, the first Clone Wars, where he fought Ventress.
2002.
And if someone actually, one of you guys grab it and share it, we'll watch it. That clip where he's fighting her. He absolutely. This is the kind of as we're coming into ROTS. And I know we probably should have talked about Ventress last week, but that's okay.
It's in the Discord.
In the Discord?
It should be that one.
Yeah, did y'all hear that? In the Discord. You know what that means? We have a Discord channel. So, all right. Let me
that should be it. I just kind of
Oh, stop.
Pick a Destiny.
I thought why did I say that? What is the pick? Tenacious D. Oh yeah.
Yeah, they're a little broken up not broken up.
A little bit. A little bit. All right, here we go, folks. Share screen. All right. We got it.
What's up, guys? This is my coffee maker.
What?
No, go ahead.
All right.
Hey, is that your shirt?
The choices we make, the actions we take, moments,
I have no idea
big
if this
and
is
small,
actually
shape us into
I don't think this
forces
is
of
it.
destiny.
Forces of Destiny. All right.
Wait. No, that's it. Keep playing.
Okay. This is what I wanted to talk about, as we're moving into Revenge of the Sith. That moment. So I felt that it would be worth sharing or looking at this because let me stop that. We saw that in the movies in Attack of the Clones when he lost his mind. When he lost his mind with the Sand People, right? Like he just went ballistic and whatever. I liken it to that. I don't know what you guys think. Hold on 1 second. I know that. Was this a defining moment in his path to the dark side? Yes or no, and why?
Not canon though, is it?
Well, it's not. But it was canon. I don't even think it was canon in Legends. The Clone Wars itself is very weird when it comes to Legends because it's both canon and Legends at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't, if I recall correctly, the 2002-3 animated wasn't canon even in Legends. Like it was retconned. Yeah.
So all things being equal, does something like this help usher him closer to the dark side? I mean,
I would say, yeah. I wouldn't use the term you used before, defining moment.
Mm-hmm.
I think a more defining moment would easily have been when he slaughtered everything in that Tusken Raider camp. That's what I'd call a defining moment. But it definitely is slowly pushing him. Things like this is what's slowly pushing him more and more towards that dark side.
Mm-hmm. Why don't we? I know Ahsoka was created after Revenge of the Sith, right? But do you think that, and I haven't heard anything about this from Filoni, do you think you like, what was it that was said at the beginning of the Clone Wars in the Clone Wars movie at the end, where Yoda says that Anakin will learn about loss or something of that nature? Do y'all remember that? Am I making this up? At the end of the movie, which was terrible. I mean, I'm sorry I took my kids to see it, but whatever. It was
Wait,
terrible.
the 3D animated Clone Wars movie?
Yeah, whatever.
Oh, it's so bad. It's so bad.
It is. I mean, I don't know. I think that I think what we got in that was an alluding to something greater of loss. And I felt that they were aligning the story of Ahsoka for future state where he loses her. Would you probably consider his loss of Ahsoka as a Padawan, as a friend, as a sister, help push him to?
Yeah, because she did what he couldn't or wouldn't. And that was just walk away.
Yeah. How do you walk away, though? I mean, like Ahsoka. But I mean, well, it's like whenever Cypher tells Neo, he's like, "Did he tell you? God, what I not like? Why would he do that? That kind of pressure." Neo felt like he had to. There were moments in the Matrix where he felt like he had to. He didn't want to, but he had to because this was put on him. So it became no longer a choice. And that the only choice that Neo would have would be to either follow along and then later on break, whatever. In the case of Anakin, he's following along, I think, because he doesn't have anything else. He has Padme, but he doesn't have
that, and he's been told he's the chosen one, so he feels that responsibility and pressure to live up to that, and maybe feel he can't walk away because he is supposed to be the chosen one.
Have you guys ever had someone that you've worked with that is some sort of like wonderkind, like, wow, I don't even know how that person is in this job. They are so smart. They don't need to be doing this. They need to be doing this. And then they always seem destined to just fall short, just a bit short of the expectations that everyone had around them. So here you've got Joe, we'll call him Anakin, I don't know, who has these expectations to live up to. Everyone thinks he's wonderful. He's doing a good job, but he's just falling a bit short on what he's supposed to be, who he's supposed to be, the feelings and thoughts he's supposed to have. How does that play with, and this is like personal if you want to get personal, but how does that mess with your own psyche when you start to have those doubts of maybe I'm not the chosen one, maybe they're wrong about me? Because I think he went through that certainly during this kind of interim period. I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of instances in the Clone Wars animation series where he's doubted himself a lot. And then Ahsoka or maybe one of the clone troopers, kind of raises him back up. Kenobi does, to a point. But yeah, I think, if I was told I was a chosen one or some prodigy or something, who the hell wants that pressure?
Yeah.
I wouldn't want it, knowing that I'm expected to live up to everybody else's expectations of me.
Mm-hmm.
And who's to say they're right?
becomes a question of who am I trying to be? Am I trying to be the individual I'm told to be? Or should I work to become the best version of myself? Thank you, Eris Korban.
Well, in shoot, I'm trying to remember what scene it was. Yoda was talking with, I think it was with Mace. And maybe it was Kenobi, because I think Kenobi said, well, isn't he the chosen one? And Mace said something snobby. And then Yoda, because that's Mace. And then Yoda said something about maybe the prophecy was misread.
Yes, maybe the prophecy Yeah, that's right. Oh,
because right now, I think they're just going off of what Qui-Gon. I don't know if everybody knew about this prophecy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, was it a well-known thing? Or was it just something that Qui-Gon found when he was doing research on stuff? I mean, the Sith have their own version of the Chosen One also. So maybe it's one of those things that's in all religions where they have some kind of a chosen one. I don't know.
Yeah, bring Herbert's Doom. There's a chosen one. The Kwisatz Haderach. Okay, so you're right. And when we think about Annie, it just sounds weird calling the adult Anakin Annie. When Padme calls him Annie, it's like, ugh. You called him that when he was 10. Oh, like, oh no, just no. It's different when you're older, I guess. I get it, but still not okay. At what point does Anakin begin though to really feel that push, and that seduction piece? Because I think when we heard the seduction of Anakin Skywalker, what does that mean? Growing up, we had our own kind of imagination of what that might or might not pertain to. When he's in the opera, the space opera with the things, I think that's a clear example of the quote unquote seduction of the dark side. But I think it's even more so before that. There's moments when he's looking at Padme the way a Jedi should not look at a woman.
Yeah, baby.
Jedi on the street, sipping the sheets, baby.
How you doing?
But even so, I all jokes aside, very possessive. He's looking at her like, you're mine. Like, you're not. It's beyond the compassion, and it's now passion, and you're gonna live because I don't care if you're whatever, we'll fix you and we'll keep. I know we Bride of Frankenstein, maybe, I don't know. I just felt like that was a huge thing for him, being like, there's a reason the Jedi say this is frowned upon. And I don't know, what do you guys thought? That's go ahead.
I mean, you even have a couple times before all hell breaks loose where she's, he knows that Obi-Wan's been there.
Mm-hmm.
And, he'll say, well, why was he here? And it wasn't for anything serious. And this is before the final, way before the final showdown. But, I mean, you can tell that, he doesn't like it that Obi-Wan comes over to discuss something with her, whether it might be, maybe it's something to do with the Senate. Who the hell knows? I mean, because she's about the only person in the Senate you can trust. Because we know everybody else is under Palpatine's influence.
Yeah.
Oh, that's an important point. Deleted scene, right? With her and Mon Mothma and Bail Organa, and like that meant so much. So yeah, it totally I could totally see Obi-Wan being that. And then in Starkiller, that they kind of lean on him too, don't they? So I know that's the video game, but still, they always need some Jedi, it seems, to have at their side to help them, but the Jedi are neutral, whatever. No, I'm with you. I think when he moves into that phase of that relationship where he's having those dreams, where he's looking at her very possessively, and it does become more what I'm going to do whatever it takes, and not in a loving, compassionate way, but in a I will destroy a mountain and whoever else is in front of me to save you from this imagined thing that now we know is probably implanted by Palpy. But Palpatine watched him grow up, right? Palpatine was his confidant and friend. His dad, where he didn't have one in the absence of Obi-Wan, because they didn't go on every stinking single solitary mission together as Padawan and Master. That's just not what happened. And so, yeah, how does that play into it? I'd love to know y'all's thoughts on how that those separation moments from Obi-Wan plays into his. You may have kind of alluded to my point already, Debbie, by saying that Obi-Wan many times kind of curbed him, kind of got him back on the. And he's that guy, right? Obi-Wan, but was Anakin? Do you think he could have? Obi-Wan could have done anything different? Let's rephrase that. Did anything that Obi-Wan do, aside from maybe meeting Padme on the side, not as a side chick, you know what I mean? What could he have done differently, or what may he had done that would have caused? Like, I don't know that he's to blame at all, other than asking him to spy.
Well, I mean, if you want to get into it, he didn't know about Padme. And as much as it is horrible, and obviously he didn't do it, who's to say if he had told the council about Padme, things wouldn't have ended up different?
Because that's political suicide. She's a senator again, and she's dating or married to a Jedi. Mm-hmm. You like that from my vantage point. I don't know. I would think they would not want to have that out, because it would destroy the Senate, destroy the Jedi. You would have this big, isn't that what we were talking about with the Acolyte, right? How big of a scandal would that have been that there was a Sith, versus how big of a scandal would it have been that Padme Amidala and the Chosen One were knocking boots, creating babies?
Well, I mean, I think if, this is my opinion, I think if maybe Anakin had confided in Obi-Wan about, his love for Padme, they're already married. If Obi-Wan would have said, you know what, go do you, go live on Naboo, just walk away. Things might have turned out differently.
If Satele didn't die, do you think things might have turned out differently all the way around?
Satine,
sorry.
Well, I mean, he told her, if you would have said the word, I would have left.
Yeah. Talk about a monkey wrench in that whole Chosen One and all of. So here you have Obi-Wan for passion saying he's not going to look over. I don't know. I don't know that Anakin wouldn't have turned sooner if Obi-Wan had hung on to her and walked away. I think he would have turned sooner. And I think it's telling. He says, Obi-Wan, he's like a father to me. Like, he's pissed. He can't live up to, like you said, the expectations. How do you deal with that? He didn't deal with it very well. He's kind of lost his shit. So looking at moving into where he tells or he discovers. So he's in the meeting with Palpatine, and Palpatine drops that little nugget, and Ian McDermott is just a brilliant actor. And you see him like say it and go, oh, like, oh, what's he gonna do? Like he's totally just psychotic dude playing the part, like seducing him, and I can save Padme, with the knowledge that I have and all the things.
And I think that shocked Anakin because I don't think Anakin had told him. Because he, as soon as Palpatine says that, he goes, "What did you say?" Like, how the hell did you know that?
Right.
I think I had always thought he kind of manipulated. I didn't say that right, but anyways, Anakin's dreams. Y'all know what I meant. But somebody, I can't remember where I read it, but somebody said that Palpatine did not have that power, but he could sense the dreams that Anakin had. He could sense them. So
I thought he was giving him the dreams.
Well, that's what I thought too, but somebody else said that Palpatine did not have that power to manipulate dreams. But he did have the power to sense. So, yeah, because I don't think Anakin had said anything to him at that point.
I think in that moment, too, if we flip it around from a Sith perspective, we have arguably one of the greatest Sith ever finally throwing that out there. Like, finally saying in confidence to only Anakin, it is who you say I am. Like, and his hand, so that is his hand was flinching to, not because he has some, like he was acting to shoot out, like he knew because of the scene and he's gonna shoot him out later, and like just the flicking of the hands, like what's wrong with his hand? Why is he doing that? He doesn't do it any other time except for right then when he's about to freaking maybe Anakin's gonna cut him from behind. He doesn't know. And I want to ask about that. So from the Sith perspective, he's got Anakin in this moment that he's decided to drop some tea. Is that risky? Yeah. But I don't know, man. Like what made him decide that was the moment? What made that be so critical to, because that was critical to the entire fall.
Well, I think because you were talking about that scene from the opera, okay? Mm-hmm. And of course, he tells the story of Darth Plagueis the Wise. And he specifically emphasizes he could even save others from death. And I mean, he really emphasized that. I mean, Anakin's not even looking at him, but Palpatine is. Mm-hmm. He's looking right at Anakin and specifically saying saving others from death. And I think kind of that was his maybe testing point. And, when Anakin says, well, where can I learn that? And he said, well, not from a Jedi. So I think Anakin probably passed that test right there. And so I think he felt after, knowing what he knows about Anakin's dreams, I think he might have been a little iffy on the situation, but I think he knew how it was going to turn out. Mm-hmm. Or sure, go ahead and turn me over. We'll see how that goes.
Yeah, I thought that was an important piece. It established another level. Use my knowledge, I beg you. I mean, it's all about you, and it's not about me. It's all about you. Totally played that card. Oh, you're so wise, Anakin. Yeah, go and tell, as you should. Go tell. But he wasn't certain, and that's why he was ready to, like, I thought that was just a really cool scene too. Above and beyond the opera scene, I thought that scene was very telling about where Anakin was still trying to do the right thing.
Well, and he did by going to tell stupid Mace.
Even though he knew that secret may be lost forever, he didn't care. At that moment, he didn't care. He did what he was supposed to. You're right.
But he also had, of course, I'm not sure how that would have turned out if he would have tried to attack Palpatine right then and there. It may not have ended well for Anakin. I don't know. I don't know if he would have been able to get the jump on Palpatine. But then again, it's like, well, how's Palpatine going to explain Anakin's death in his office by lightsaber?
Yeah, that's true. Zane, what are you deep in research over there about?
A lot.
I mean, what are your thoughts on that piece? Let's move it though to so he goes and tells Mace, right? And Mace and company are all gonna go, like the cavalry. We're gonna go take care of business. So let's stop and put a pin there in Anakin. Let's move over to our friendly neighborhood, Sith Lord, Palpatine. So Emperor Palpatine, Darth Sidious, as we know him now, is just chilling in his office, looking at the Death Star plans. Yeah, I know how this is all going to play out. And I don't think I think he even says, like, so soon. Like he knew shit was coming because Anakin said he'd do it and whatever. So, but he's playing it so cool, man. And this is, I'm sorry for those of you that think the Sith are bad and evil. Man, they can play shit so cool. Because he was like, "Are you threatening me, Master Jedi? Like, like, are you seriously? There's 4 of you. There's 1 of me, and I'm not even sweating it. Not even sweating it. I don't know. I love me some Palpatine. So I'd love to know your thoughts specifically about. I know we were talking about the seduction piece, but specifically, how badass was Palpatine in those moments, man?
It was crazy. And I think what makes it even more insane is just knowing everything that happens after and reading about everything that happened before. Hearing how meticulous he was with his planning and how much influence he had over the Senate, how much he did all this, and he really covered all bases. The only thing he didn't account for was Anakin losing.
Yeah. Yeah, and we'll get to that. In that scene, you have Anakin. I mean, still trying to do the right thing, right? He's beaten, so we think, and I guess we'll never really know because I don't know if Lucas has ever expounded on that, or is there something in the novelization that expounds on it that he lose the duel, or was he faking that he got disarmed? Like I don't know what the truth is in that. Do y'all?
Who got disarmed?
Whenever Palpatine was disarmed by Mace, and not Mace being disarmed. No, God, that was
a little bit later.
So terrible, Dana. Hold on, let me pour some more wine. That was that's not okay.
You might need to.
That's oh yeah, we're on YouTube. We're good.
Yeah, that was all a ploy. I mean, you can even tell in his voice. Oh, I'm weak. Yeah, he don't even sound serious when he's doing it. Anakin, I'm weak. I can't hold it much longer. And during this whole thing, there are times where I think Ian
McDermott
kind of overacts a little bit.
Yeah.
Because every time I watch the fight scene between him and Mace and Mace, yeah, it's just I crack up every single time because his facial expressions are so over exaggerated, and I'm just like, I laugh. the whole time. I mean, it's a cool scene, but I freaking laugh because I'm like,
I got you. I've always felt that he is so awesome. Like, he is my absolute top Sith Lord. But when you see that, I think the goal was to make him like drunk with power and just shows how mad he is, how nuts he is. And but only when he's allowing himself to fully flow with the dark side, right? And he's just, this is awesome. It's like a kid eating like 8 Wonka bars, and then you let him loose on the monkey bars. He's got 2 broke arms, but he's still like, just running around with floppy arms now, like just losing his mind. I just felt that they did a good job portraying. I think it was kind of over the top and campy.
but that's Star Wars.
It is, right? Come on, Han Solo. It doesn't get much more campy than that, dude. But
I also think him finally letting his true face show was also part of the ploy, to make it look like Mace was truly injuring him to the point where he was just so weak. And now, of course, he tells the Senate how he's, I'm mortally disfigured. I can't do Palpatine, but you know what I mean.
Go for Papa Palpatine. Yeah. Hold on one sec, guys.
But I think that was all part of the game, just letting his true face show, his true Darth Sidious face, because we all know that was a Force mask of some sort.
Who wins 1-on-1 cage match, Mace versus Sidious?
Sidious
Why?
was on par with Yoda.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
You believe that Anakin being there was irrelevant to him being Sidious, being victorious over Mace. Is that what you're saying?
That's what I'm saying.
Why did the fight last so long? To delay because he thought Anakin might come?
Oh, he knew Anakin would come.
Oh, yeah.
Because he knew Anakin needed that secret to save Padme. Sure, he went and told the Jedi, but the longer it went, gave Anakin more time to second guess himself and think, no, damn it, I need that. I got to make sure he stays alive and they don't kill him. And
so before that, when he's sitting there and he's looking and he's thinking and he's sullen, whatever, what is it that he's thinking? What is he doing? Because I don't know if that's in the novelization. Again, I haven't read it.
I think it is.
What is he thinking? What's happening there? Because that to me seems like an absolute moment of turning, because he is going to assure that Sidious remains alive and be tried, not for any other reason than he wants to say, Padme, I need him, he says. Not, he should stand trial because it's the right thing to do. That's not what he said. He said, I need him. I think that's an important piece of dialogue there.
yeah, it's been so long since I've read the novelization, but I would imagine, he's lost his mother. He's going to lose Padme. And of course, we don't know at this point, but he'll lose Ahsoka. 3 women who were very important in his life. And he's getting ready to lose the 3rd one.
All right, I'm going to go out on
Although he doesn't realize it's because of his own actions, but
he the importance of women in Star Wars. I think I could do a dissertation on it. The lack of a caring motherly figure, sisterly figure, an opposite to Anakin in a female way. I don't care, whatever. I think it plays in the story to show just how important those relationships are. I'm sorry, Mom. I haven't been the son I've been, right? Or whatever. I mean, I really feel that way. And I think we see that played out on the screen very intently about the relationship between father and son, or father and what you call it, daughter, I guess. But we don't see the mother piece except for Anakin saying, "Okay, I don't want to leave, but okay, yippee, I'm gonna go away," and then comes back and slays people. But I think your point is I've missed a lot. That the importance of those women in his life when they were gone, he had a hole in his soul when any of the, and then yeah, like you said, losing Padme in the end, that was just the icing, right? Could he have come back if if that hadn't occurred? If Obi-Wan wasn't on Mustafar, what do you think would have happened with Anakin?
Depends. It depends, because if Kenobi wasn't on Mustafar, that means Kenobi's going to go against Palpatine. Yoda's going on Mustafar.
You think it was a one for, like, they had to go and do it that way?
They knew they had to. So I
Did
think
Yoda think that he could beat Vader?
Yeah, but I think from Yoda's perspective, he is the most powerful Jedi. He needs to go after the Emperor.
Arrogance, I tell you. Arrogance. Although I don't think any of them could have beaten Palpatine.
Yeah, none of them could have.
See, I don't know. I don't know, because I think in his prime, had his legs not been cut off, I think Anakin would have stood a chance. But it would have cost him the light inside him to do it. And I feel that way about Mace too. I think Mace could have beat Palpatine, but it would have cost him the light. 900 years of being not 900 years of being a Jedi, but for the 100 plus years of being a Jedi, or whatever, you know what I mean. He Yoda, I don't know that he would have walked the tightrope the way Mace was able to, or do those things. I think he was, even though arrogant and blinded and stupid sometimes, like, he believed and he was all in on the ideology. What? A long time. When it says a long time ago in a galaxy, a long, long, long time ago. Okay. I don't know.
Well, and I don't know. I don't know if he could have been turned back, but after Mace is flown out the window, and old Palpy, he's given his praises and whatnot, and I name him Darth Vader.
Darth Vader.
You can,
what was that? Yes.
You can see he instantly regrets what he has done. Instantly. I mean, he says it. What have I done?
Mm-hmm.
He regrets what he did. I don't know. Say nobody went to Mustafar outside of Padme. Do you think Padme alone could have turned him back?
I think come with me. Only my new powers can save you. All those things. I think she maybe could have, but the instant Obi-Wan appeared, it was over. So I have to think that maybe there was a shot. There's still good in him. That's what she tells Obi-Wan.
And he wouldn't have choked her because Obi-Wan wasn't there.
Maybe they would have had a cup of tea and talked it out. No,
No.
it's got Earl Grey hot. Yeah, I mean,
Wrong fandom.
yeah. Dude, I love me some Earl Grey. That's my jam. Yeah, I think it's just so interesting the way that these things happen in the story, and we talk about relating to real life, relating to business, and it's what we like to do on the show. And you make a great point about the moment when he took off Mace's arm, realizes what's happened. He says, "What have I done?" In his mind, it's over. Like there is no redemption. Like he just it's his fault. It's all his fault. It's not. It's Sidious's fault for orchestrating it. But in Anakin's mind, it's all his fault. And so he has no choice. And you want to imprison some person? We encounter these poor people all day long, every day, that are in their own prisons because they've made those prisons for themselves. Anakin made his own prison by assuming the actions that he had done were unforgivable. I don't know what y'all think of that. I just think that's a huge moment in the movie for that.
So why is he crying on Mustafar?
Because he's doing the things because he wants to save the girl, but
He's
he
still
knows
having
what
regrets.
he knows what he's doing is so wrong. He knows what he's doing is wrong, and he's rationalizing when he says, I've brought an end to this. I mean, it's arrogance and whatever, but it's also him, I think, wearing his mask already. Like when you do something stupid back in the I own up to that shit now, but earlier in my life, right? You do something stupid and you're like, oh, well, yeah, but I will be better because of this, and I will learn that I can shut up. Because you're trying to make a rationalization saying that you're going to do things different. Like only my new powers can save you. I have brought peace and whatever to my
Prosperity to my
Yes.
new
Freedom, justice, and some prosperity to my new empire.
But even it coming out of his mouth sounded ridiculous. And it sounded ridiculous because that's not Anakin Skywalker. And to say that in that moment, Anakin Skywalker was not there, bullshit. And Obi-Wan knew it. Well, Obi-Wan knew it until he tried to for real kill Obi-Wan. And then I think Obi-Wan was like, that's it.
Well, there was, because I was watching the final duel, because I watched this over the weekend. Chewie. So I was watching the duel, and there were so many times that either one of them could have finished it, especially when they were on the they're out over the lava and they're on that big long tower thing, and they're both swinging from the wires. All Obi-Wan had to do that first pass, cut that wire. Anakin would have went right in the lava. Anakin could have done the same thing to Obi-Wan. I don't think either one. Well, we know Obi-Wan didn't really want to kill him, and I don't think Anakin did either. I think they were both fighting
themselves.
I was about to say their own inner demons. Yeah.
Yeah, because, well, like Obi-Wan says, you were like a brother to me. And Anakin had said before Obi-Wan went to Utapau, that he was like a father, And so, yeah, I don't, there was just so many chances before the tower thing where they were swinging. There were so many times that they could have offed each other. They just didn't want to. They couldn't until Anakin pressed it.
I mean, though not blood, Anakin was his son. I mean, that's all he knew as a father was Obi-Wan. All that he ever knew as a kid. What other Padawans did he have? Obi-Wan.
He didn't, because he had Obi-Wan straight.
Well, he had Anakin, and then Anakin had what you call it after the trials for. He got Ahsoka. Who did?
He had one after.
Do the Jedi Masters not have to have Padawans? I don't know. This is lore. I don't know.
Well, I think it's because hardly anybody was at the temple.
Yeah.
They were all out fighting, on the outer rims on different planets. So, who's got time to really train a Padawan? Well, I guess they thought Anakin did, when they gave her.
You have to think he was
Ahsoka, but
by the time Anakin was knight, I mean, he was basically assigned to the Jedi Council. So Obi-Wan Kenobi had to be a general as well as someone on the council. You just don't have time.
So, wait, I left and you're still alive. And I still have my shirt on, Andrew. So
I'll have to pop off soon because it's almost my bedtime.
I know. We're working on it.
Wait, Dad, you're taking off your shirt? Take off the shirt? Dad?
No. I don't want to end up on Debbie's wall of folks. So, and I can't help that, if that happens.
Yeah.
So when Anakin is fighting, actually, 1 second. I want to share this real quick. Screen.
Oh, that sound.
I saw your ship. What are you doing out here?
I was so worried about you. Obi-Wan told me terrible things.
What things?
He said you've turned to the dark side. That you killed younglings.
Okay, hold up a second. I'd forgotten about that. So how do you rationalize this to your wife that she just killed a bunch of kids? I mean,
well, he can't even look her in the eye when she said, Obi-Wan says you've turned to the dark side. He can't even look at her.
And what does he do? Deflects 100. Yeah, doesn't look at her. Totally deflects the conversation to, well, we're talking about Obi-Wan. Well, we're talking about you.
Because of Obi-Wan. I love that line.
It's about us.
Us.
He knows.
He been known.
He wants to help you.
Silly woman.
I think it's funny. I'm pretty sure she totally knew that he knew.
You, Padme. Only my new powers can do that.
At what cost? You're a good person. Don't do this.
I won't lose you the way I lost my mother.
I think right here they could have had more of an exchange
And I'm doing it for you.
if he didn't show up.
Come away with me. Help me raise our child.
Because
Leave everything
I
else
think he's
behind.
totally
We still
considering
can.
it.
Don't you see? We don't have to run away anymore.
I don't know. I think
I have
he's.
brought peace to
I
the
think he could've
Republic.
gone. Oh, okay, dumbass.
I am
Don't say
more
that. You're messing up
powerful
my
than the Chancellor.
argument. Stop.
I can overthrow him.
Shut up.
And together, you and I can rule the galaxy. Make things the way we want them to be.
I'm thinking about if they ever recast
I don't believe
Anakin,
what
like
I'm
if they ever did a redo of the movies.
James Franco.
Obi-Wan
What?
was
Who?
Andrew Garfield. That's
Oh,
Anakin.
no way.
I hear it.
I vote
I
was
hear
for
it.
James
I don't
Franco
want to
from
hear
day
anymore
one.
about Obi-Wan.
Nah, I hear it. The voice is so
The Jedi
similar.
turned against me. Don't you turn against me?
I don't know you anymore. Anakin, you're breaking my heart.
Oh, shut up.
You're going down a path I can't
So look,
follow.
I think for real, he's like
Because of Obi-Wan.
he really.
Because of what you've done. What you plan to do. Stop.
Yeah, it's
Stop
over now.
Come back.
He's like,
I love you.
man, shut up. Liar! Man, you hoeing around with Obi-Wan. Look, I mean, I get it, Daddy Obi-Wan, but come
You're
on.
with him. You brought him here to kill me.
No.
That's right. Okay, just
Let her go, Anakin. Let her
go.
I have a question because
her against me. Sorry.
throughout the movies, well, at least the prequels, you ever wondered how many Jedi cloaks they go through?
I know.
Because they always have to take them off in order to fight. Do they ever go back for them? Probably not.
No, they just get, the slave planets like Tatooine to make them more, but it's off the record, see?
Well, it's like, why even wear them? What's the point?
Okay.
Outside of looking
Oh,
sketchy.
yeah, I think it's the whole, I'd love to get more into the Jedi lore that exists deep in the fandom, where they have like you can become a Jedi as register religion and stuff, to see what they've kind of done with that, because that's a good question. I think there's a ton we can learn from that stuff. I know it's not canon, but it'd be fun to explore that stuff. I don't know, when you have a character so incredibly, what's the word I'm looking for, intent on fulfilling what he now believes his destiny to be. So I'm going to play the clip at the end here, but before we do that, my kind of last question with all this is, do you feel that Anakin, had he not had his legs chopped off and other arm removed, does this still end any other way than Obi-Wan on top? Or is Anakin truly, was he truly the not as good as a duelist as, Obi-Wan? Does it end differently if he doesn't play the high ground card? If that piece doesn't happen, does it play out differently?
I don't think so.
You think Anakin was better than? I mean,
No,
Obi-Wan was better than Anakin as a
think
duelist.
not as a duelist, but in the Force, because Obi-Wan had a moment of not peace, but of being able to be in the Force right as Anakin jumped. Like, he had the concentration needed. And I think Anakin is so emotional in a lot of these moments that he has no time to really use the Force. And I think that's what really stands between the two. I mean, that's even going to the Acolyte. The whole point is killing a Jedi with a weapon, and the Force isn't a weapon. But my thing is, I think Anakin was so focused on dueling. If he had ever had been more focused on training in the Force, he would have won easily. But I think Obi-Wan was just so in that moment. You know what I mean?
Would you feel like our passion sometimes, when our passions drive our actions, the propensity or potential for more heartache than success is going to be there? I don't know that I fully believe that statement, but I believe that there has to be some leaning towards that, because if you're 100% passion, which he is, he's 100% heart right now. He has 0 of his head in the game. And I think that's what you're trying to say too, is if he had more of his wits about him and wasn't so emotional, he would have known better than to do what he did. He wasn't attuned to the Force. He was forcing the Force, using the Force, not allowing the Force to control. All the things we love as Sith, but in this case, it did not serve him well.
He wasn't centered,
Mm-hmm.
and he was off balance in the Force because of his emotions. Even though that's what the Sith do, they use their emotions, but he was so new, I think, to using that much of the dark side that he didn't know what to do with it.
He was almost overloaded with power, if that's the word for it. He just couldn't control it.
I get that. Okay. No, that's good. We're gonna watch just the tail end here of whenever he gets his stuff. Debbie, if you gotta bounce it all, it's okay. I think Cam's gonna join us here in a little bit too, so it won't just be me and Zane trying to carry 30 minutes of a show, because that's not gonna happen either.
Okay, I'll bounce off.
All right, here we go.
This is the end for you, my master.
Me here.
All right, man. This is it right here, man. Holy cow. So,
Time for Anakin! I have the high ground!
listen.
Oh, he's pleading.
That is a man that loves his brother. That is a man that is telling his brother, do not do this, because I will have no choice but to defend myself. Don't do it. So whenever it's over, Anakin, I have the high ground. Don't do it. Like, I believe fully he is 100% he's pleading and begging Anakin, do not do this. Am I wrong?
No, that's 100%.
I mean, okay. And this is hard. And this is really hard, I think, for folks like you and I, Zane, that come from a place where, and others too, I'm sure, but come from a place where, like, you have that sort of compassion or passion in you to extol to others. And in that, sometimes it's painful and you get hurt like bad. And Obi-Wan's like in that point, I believe, where he's like, I know whatever's about to happen, if it goes any other way but you standing down, it's gonna suck for everybody, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Just stop. Oh, sorry, I went off there, but
no, this, I see your tears coming.
It's like just stop. When you have that much feels for your fellow humans, okay? Like, there is no greater love than this, that a man would lay down his life for his wife. Okay, yeah, that's but love your neighbor, man. Like, it's the golden rule, do unto others. It's all here summed up in Obi-Wan, because he was probably the best of us, right? When you hear about, the heroes that don't make it, they're the ones that don't make it back. They were the best of us. They gave their lives. They laid it down. He was the best of the Jedi. Really, he was, because even in the end, he didn't falter. Even in the end, his heart was pouring out for his brother. Sorry, you were about to say something.
No.
I can't believe I just went nuts there. Whew. Cam, you're missing out, brother. Tea being spilt all over the place.
You underestimate my power! Don't try it!
Okay, he just fully watched him roll. Like, didn't he? He could have used the Force and saved him.
You could still use the Force and save him.
You could still use the Force and save him.
Or kill him.
You were the chosen one!
Oh.
Oh.
It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them!
It's just heartbreak on another level.
Balance to the Force! Not leave it in darkness!
Were Anakin's eyes the Sith color before
Yes.
he jumped? Before he
No.
jumped?
No.
And then now there's...
Yes. Okay, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'm sitting in the theater. It's 2000 and whatever, and this movie. I'm sitting there, and this happens. Yes, Andrew.
Mm.
I've had wine, so I have to be very careful and tread very lightly right now. This scene. This is a son turning on his father. This is a brother turning on his brother. This is an employee turning on his boss. This is every single solitary turning on moment in all of history in one statement. Anyone who knows Dr. Dana Martin knows the word hate very seldomly falls out of this face, because I believe that has a huge amount of power, and I'm not going to allow anyone to take that from me and me give them that power by allowing them to know that I hate them. So I don't hate anybody. So when I see this amount, it just rips my guts out. And Hayden, chef's kiss, kudos in this moment. No one can doubt your passion for your craft and the way you portrayed Darth Vader in this moment, because it gets me every fucking time. Okay. So
But before you
talk to me.
I'm really focusing in on these eyes here. He had the Sith eyes before, though.
Yeah.
After he stormed the Capitol? Or
Yes. Fun storming the castle. Yes. After he stormed the castle, he was up and he was crying, but he had Sith eyes.
Sith eyes. And then during the entire fight, they were normal.
Right, because he's with Padme.
Well, even in the fight versus Obi-Wan.
So once you get them, they don't just stay. It's only when you're enraged and full of the dark side do you Sith eyes come to be.
Kind of. Well, that's what I'm saying, though. It leads to that theory of they were holding back. He wasn't fully engulfed in emotion, and therefore.
No, and you're right. We see it in the novelization or in the novels, and we've talked about these other Sith Lords. You're exactly right. Where if they are, there's a difference between the moments that they are, I don't even say attuned to the dark side. Like they are, funnels. They're pipelines for the dark side. When you get to that point, I think is the Sith eyes, right? And even Palpatine didn't always have Sith eyes. They only occurred in moments.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'm reading your statement wrong.
Well, I'm just saying that throughout the entire fight, if you can call it that, we were talking about how it really seemed they were pulling their punches. Mm-hmm. There were multiple times where each could have killed each other, and I think the eyes are almost a lead into that, where Anakin was pulling his punches, whether or not he realizes it. He wasn't using his full thing. He wasn't fully emotional in that way as he is right now.
Yeah, so when he first gets to Mustafar and he kills separatist leaders, he's screaming, but it's almost like an anguish cry. Like he's hurting that he's doing this. And so he's doing it, so he has this kind of maybe level of evil. I don't know. This level of attunedness to the dark side funneling. Because he just goes through and chops everybody down like they're nothing. And so, yeah, in order for him to do that, he had to lose himself in that moment, because Anakin Skywalker never would have killed younglings. Anakin Skywalker was the guy that looked out for and protected clones. So it truly was a death of Anakin Skywalker in a sense. And it's in these moments that we see his eyes, maybe, that we realize, yeah, this is why Obi-Wan says he's
Well,
more
then you are
machine.
lost.
He's like you're gone. You're not. And he tells Luke the same thing. And this is why I think you're absolutely onto something there. I just went off again, but yeah.
Well, no. I think in words to make it easier, it almost feels like the Lucas is using these eyes to almost show this is Vader. This specifically is Vader in his full control. Whenever the eyes are normal, it is Anakin is still in there. But whenever you see the eyes, that's whenever you're Sith, you're channeling that dark side energy, and you're just overflowing with that, which is Darth Vader for him. And so I almost it really is. It really seems like in this scene they're pointing to the fact that Anakin is dead.
Yeah,
per se.
I mean, I'm not going to go into it now. We can talk about it after dark. But I mean, even in I've been there, right? Like not losing limbs, but certainly losing pieces of me, and losing pieces of me in the face of people that I trust. And so, regardless of what the truth was, my truth, regardless of the facts, my truth was X, and I felt maybe as Anakin did. Once I fully understood the truth as facts and not my truth, I made those. I understood those facts, and I understood that no, that's not what was happening. So, I think for Anakin, one of the coolest things was when they released Darth Vader, the figure, the first Darth Vader figure in the Episode 3 toy line, because the first Lord Vader was Anakin with Sith eyes. And for us growing up, we didn't ever even, I didn't ever really think about that. Was there a time that he was Vader without the armor? Does it make a difference that he was Vader before the armor, Zane?
I think it totally does. It shows that Vader isn't just the armor. You know what I mean? The armor, you could say, is a personification of who Vader was. It really is that dark, scary, you really don't know what's happening in the mind. But
you made me cry, dude.
I truly think that it wasn't the suit. It's all here. It was just the personification of it.
So we know in ROTJ that he's redeemed, whatever. But he's redeemed because he took off the mask. So Anakin's fall is putting on the mask. His fall is those eyes. His fall is, what have I done? There is no redemption for me. I might as well go all in and just this is my life now. And this is the same thing for people in the criminal element. I absolutely know people who've served some good time. And my folks that I know, it was just situational. You made stupid decisions and you went with them instead of stepping away. Don't go with those decisions. And in Anakin's case, it wasn't about him. Was it about him? I keep saying no. It was about Padme.
Mm-hmm.
Do you feel that once Padme was dead, or he assumed so? Because when he force choked her, he kind of knew she was alive. He said it. I sensed it. Oh, hold on. We'll get to that in just 1 second.
Mm-hmm.
Let's finish this up. The fact is,
we can spend an entire episode just on the fight.
I know.
It's over, Anakin! I have the high ground! You underestimate my power! Don't try it!
totally pleading right now. Don't try it.
Don't try it.
Don't try it. Sorry, he doesn't want to do it.
You were the chosen one! It was said that you would destroy the Sith, not join them! Bring balance to the Force, not leave it in darkness!
He's just gonna leave him there to burn his little nubs.
I bet you that lightsaber was very hot. Let me see an Anakin's face.
So how does he feel right now?
Right there. Oh,
How does he feel right now after that was said to him?
I think he is mourning. I don't even think. I think this is his moment of not acceptance, but realization that in that moment Anakin was gone.
Once more the Sith shall rule the galaxy. Yes. Do you think he knew right then? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's gone. So that's a great point, Andrew. Obi-Wan feels like he failed him. Look, I do coaching and speaking and these sorts of things on the side. But I also am a people leader, and there are folks that, I mean, when you have someone tell you that you've invested in, and in this case, his whole life, pretty much, Anakin's known Obi-Wan longer than any other person. He's known Obi-Wan longer than any other person aside from Padme. So when Obi-Wan hears, okay, Watto, whatever, if he's even still
R2.
alive. No, come on. Anyways, you know what I'm saying.
C-3PO.
Holy shnikes. The point is, when you have someone that you have entrusted with a piece of yourself, the way that Obi-Wan did, it is triple, quadruple heartbreaking, because it's not just the teacher pupil, it's the brother, it's the father figure, it's all the things that we said of why Anakin felt the way he did. It's the same thing for Obi-Wan, is it not? I mean, he just lost everything.
That's
And he even lost more. I would argue that in this moment, he believes he's lost more, or he has lost more than Anakin, because he is forced to believe he has to live with what he's watching right now. Anybody think about that shit? Anybody think about what Obi-Wan had to live with imagery-wise for his whole life?
Like, imagine doing that to your brother or your son. Like,
the
and
last
then having
thing
to
you
live-
saw with them, you cut their legs off.
and they told you they hated you.
I mean, I get it. If I cut your legs off, I would assume you would hate me. But
Only the right one, not the left one.
You were my brother, Anakin! I loved you!
liar. He didn't loved him past tense. I think even right now, like, that's why his heart's breaking, because he does still love him. Like, he loves this mass of flesh that's now about to burn
I think
in front of him.
I think he's almost saying that as reassurance to himself. Like, he knows he can't anymore. Like, he knows that like mentally he is not allowed to love him anymore because of what he's becoming. Which is why he's telling himself even that he loved him, past tense. I don't know.
Would you say that Anakin's full on? Like, in this moment, there is zero chance of redemption in this moment.
In this specific moment, Yes, and I think the eyes are the tell for that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's all to the eyes.
That was tough to watch, man. Yeah.
Well, and he never cries for help.
Okay. And this is my point earlier. Like, he knows he effed up. He's willing. He doesn't scream. He doesn't beg for help. He doesn't use the Force some way, somehow to do something. What does he do?
He just takes it.
Yeah. Dana's not going to cry on this episode, but damn, dude. He felt so unworthy of anything that he was willing just to let himself burn to death. Knowing full well what we know about the Force, he could have figured out a way to extinguish that quickly. He could have. He's freaking Anakin Skywalker, one of the greatest Force users ever. I don't know. I think he was hoping he would die.
Yeah.
And had resorted to the fact that he was going to die. Which means that by his survival, now he's pissed at the world because he didn't die.
Mm-hmm.
Which is what Jerkface wanted all along. Am I wrong?
No.
I know I probably shouldn't use that word.
What face?
No. I don't know why you're trying to get me kicked off. I'll put that up again. Everyone feels like he failed him. Yeah. That's tough. The last bit here for Revenge of the Sith. You said we could do a whole series on this. I agree. I think there's just so much material here from a Sith perspective. We talked about the Jedi a little bit, Obi-Wan, of course, because of the relationships and whatnot. But I mean, the focus has been on Anakin and his fall and his turn. And the last kind of bit for this is, I'm not gonna play it because it's dumb. No, like is she safe? Is she like seems in your yeah? Oh, Frankenstein. I get it because he just got those legs. He doesn't even know how to use them. But that was a little terrible. But I don't want to talk about the scene from a cinematography or directing or whatever perspective. I want to talk about it from a Sith perspective. So from a Sith perspective, that was just fuel that Palpy was given Anakin. Am I wrong? So talk to me how that potentially would have fueled him even more. And I know it's been fun. It's been, boom, 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 boom. Cuckoo. We're doing all the game show sounds. Where was I? Geez, really? This is what we're doing now. I think that certainly we know he did that on purpose to kind of, but we also know from the video game that did he have her body, or was it like a holocron? Like, what was that in that, that cutscene in the video game? And you're actually in the wall behind with, I think it's Jedi Survivor or whatever. I don't know. It may have been Vader Immortal. I think it was Vader Immortal on the meta. Have you not played those? Dude, they're sick. So there's this whole thing where Vader is, we'll talk about that next episode because I think it takes place right around Rogue One also. But he's in search of trying to resurrect Padme and whatnot. So Anakin is just such a great, compelling story, beginning to end. And I want to share this one thing because I brought it up earlier. I got into it about this picture with some friends of mine way back I'm going to open in its own tab. I don't know. It's on DeviantArt, and you can find it. I'll share this real quick. I said open this.
I said open sesame. Open the blast doors. Close the blast doors. Close the blast doors. Open the blast doors.
You idiot! You captured their stunt doubles. I know. I know.
Puppers in the
All
back.
right, here we go. We're gonna share the screen. I know we still got. I'm trying to get off here. We only got a couple minutes, but let's do this. This photo. So I kind of got into it a little. Oh wait, I got to show on stream.
Yeah, you do got to show.
So this is for those of you playing along at home in your cars, whatever. Hold on.
You want me to explain it?
Yeah, Palpatine fully used Anakin. Sorry, this good comment by Andrew again. Palpatine fully used Anakin emotionally, like totally toyed with him to get what he wanted. Manipulation, where we talk about influence and manipulation on this show a lot.
No.
That was 100% manipulation.
There's a difference.
There is. So yeah, talk to me. You want to talk about this? So the argument that I got into a couple of times about this photo was that it was not an accurate depiction of quote unquote Darth Vader. And it is at a wall of Death Star. I think it's called the Death Star Reflections. So a wall like the wall for Vietnam, where you have all the names of those KIA.
Mm-hmm.
And he's putting his hand, Vader is, on the wall, and the reflection, of course, all the names. But there are troopers and TIE fighter pilots, scout trooper, all these people on the other side trapped within the wall, touching his hand, who's touching the wall. And I see this for me, and I'm like, that's that bit of Anakin, the spark that Padme says there's still good in him, that Luke says there's still good in him, that Obi-Wan couldn't feel anymore. And maybe Obi-Wan couldn't feel it because of what happened in those moments. But I'd love to get your thoughts on, is this Lord Vader? Is this Anakin? Is this purely a mix, or is this bullshit?
Well, first I want to say it's BS because we have seen in countless comics that he never cared for the personnel of the Empire, and he left.
No,
We've seen it.
I'm here.
He hasn't. He has just seen the lives of stormtroopers, officers as just mere things that can be expendable. So why would he go to a memorial if they're just expendable? I'm pretty sure his list of kills are this long.
Here's where I'm gonna go with this, and I don't give a crap. Who else is there? Oh, no one. Just a little mouse droid. No one else is there. So there's no one else that could look at him and see any sort of weakness, that could look at him and see any sort of emotion towards those fallen. Every other time, from my perspective, what I've read and what I've seen, that he has been, they are expendable, they are tools. Those are the times when there's other people there.
You think he's showing his real Anakin side here?
I think this is the depiction of, I'm going to go back for them. They are doing their job so you can do yours. I think this is that piece of him that remains.
I like that. I can see that.
Because no one else is around, dude. That's why I felt that way.
A quick off topic. Down in the bottom, that's a Palma flag.
That's a what?
Palma, Powmia.
Oh,
just
nice.
so you can. I just thought it was a cool detail. Anyways,
Yeah.
I can see what you're saying, and I know he was more Anakin whenever he was in that chamber, the meditation chamber by himself. There were those times.
Yeah.
And that's why I didn't like when people saw him with his helmet off. because that was almost like seeing the
Because
inner
he
workings.
looks a lot like a baby.
Well, I mean, we've been talking about how the Vader suit and the mask specifically was the personification of Vader, putting that mask on. And so when that mask is off, you know,
Yeah.
you lose that sense of power and fear.
I mean, he rode in one time on a freaking TIE fighter. I mean, the dude has a flair for entrances and did in the Clone Wars. They really played on that in the Clone Wars with the character. Man, this has been super fun. I still feel like we kind of barely scratched the surface on stuff we could be talking about from this Sith perspective. I believe we did a good job trying to look at this from the Sithy side. So I appreciate everyone's involvement. Andrew, everyone else on the show this evening. Yeah, super cool. We're going to jump over here in about probably 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'll jump over to Discord for a little while, depending on who all shows up, how long. Cam may jump in there too. He didn't make it to the show, but that's okay. Some people, we don't make money off this show. So we have real jobs, and those real jobs pay. So remember that we are still trying to get to that 100 on Facebook. So if you're listening in your car or on your mobile device, whatever, on Spotify, iTunes, etc., that well, not iTunes yet. The Apple is such a pain in the ass. Whatever. Now I really won't get on. But we even started the YouTube podcast. So because I think Google Podcast is going away, so I jumped over to this. I didn't even set up on Google Podcast. If you guys are listening, jump over to Facebook. Just give us a follow. We appreciate the likes 100%. Don't stop that. But we need 100 followers in order to be able to broadcast there. Within our YouTube channel, if we can get 3,000 hours or whatever of viewership and like 1,000 followers, we get monetization. So yay, that'd be awesome. I'm not doing this for the money yet. I'm doing this just for the fun.
I'm doing this for the money.
When I know all that I pay you.
So much, guys. The salary is insane. Can't wait for more people to be part of the cast and crew.
I know, right?
Crazy.
I do want to, for those of you that maybe even stumble on this later on, hit us up, follow us, like us, subscribe to us on the various socials. Reach out to us in a DM and we'll give you the link, early access to the Discord server. At some point in the next few weeks, we'll be sending that out probably to several people because we will make it an actual public server. It is a public server now. You can find it. It's listed. But we'll send out and get all that going. So in the meantime, we have other shows. It's a faux pas. There are other shows that we are partnered with, such as Geek News on the Geek News Now network, such as Geek Gauntlet on
Geek Gauntlet on
Saturdays, where Janae is a part of a lot of. So is Kat, who's been on the show. So are you on the show?
No.
Okay. Andrew, Janae. I think I already said Janae. Kat, Debbie, of course,
and Janae,
David Furr, or Dr. Zane or Darth Zane. Yes, I said Janae. We've said it like 5 times now. Janae, and she wasn't even on the show tonight, like even watching. Great, Janae. Thanks.
There's what? There's MCU Mondays.
MCU Mondays. You catch Debbie on that with Dr. or why do I keep saying Dr. Zane? Darth Zane. I'm gonna ask and Fur, just hit me up. Like, yeah, we'll totally get you on the show next week if you want. I don't want to carry the show with that. Well, actually, Debbie would carry the show because all I do is babble.
Is there ever ones on? Is there even one on Wednesday?
No shows on Wednesday. But when shows do drop on Wednesday, it's usually War of the Stars with Mark and Garrett, Mark Tolley and Garrett. Garrett was on our show 3-4 weeks ago. Also, and author too. Don't forget, check out his books. So
Cantina Happy Hour on Thursday.
Happy Hour on Thursdays. Yep. Yeah. So a lot of shows, and guys, just because maybe GNN's taking a detour in what they're doing or not doing, doesn't mean that we're not sticking around. Those other shows may not be sticking around either. We also have a bunch of articles. Go check them out on geeknewsnow.net. before it shuts down in October. Read those articles, go through them, save them. I saved all mine, and I'll probably end up with an archive piece on our website, the Sith Dominion website. So, gosh, I think that's it. Next week we only have Debbie and I. Maybe Darth Zane will. Andrew, maybe you want to join next week if you can, so we can have a few people on. Check out those other shows, and we will be going through Rogue One and then the OG trilogy with plenty of guests lined up.
OT.
So, man, Zane, this has been fun. Debbie, super fun. Sorry you had to bounce. Cam, we'll see you in After Dark. I don't think there's anything else.
I don't think there is. I will say, according to one of my calendars here, if y'all are in the
see, I was about to say before we pop off here and get out of here, what gigs do you have coming up?
Well, if y'all are in the San Marcos area, I'm playing at Cheatham Street. I'm opening for Jackson Wendell the next weekend. It'll be Friday the 6th. Cheatham Street, 7, I think it's around 7 p.m. The next month, on the 5th, I'm actually playing with Bo Moore. We're headlining Cheatham Street as well, so San Marcos area.
Nice. Yeah,
it's great. It's a really good venue. If you're in the Austin area, I'm playing at Maggie Mays with Thomas Babiak the Friday the 20th of September. So that'll be a fun show. I'm also playing at Hog Heaven at 6 p.m. So that'll be a good one. And I think the last one I have kind of out there is Saturday, October the 19th. I'm playing, I think it's in Dripping Springs. It's Moon Tower Saloon, 9 p.m. So if any of those dates match, feel free to come. If not, I'll be around.
Just for those of you that don't really know, I got a little clip here, and Thomas Babiak, sir, I'm playing this, and I don't care because I need to pimp you guys out. You guys are sick. So I'm going to share this real quick. So for those of you that are watching at home, you're getting a special treat because you're going to get to see them do this. If shit. Here we go. Otherwise, here we go. Let's try to make sure this up. Okay, here we go. So this is the kind of cool stuff you're going to get to hear if you watch the Thomas Babiak and 30-year act.
Please, Lord, that's all I
Nope, that's not the one. Okay, yeah, it is.
'Cause I've been working like a dog all day trying to figure it out. Praying for a better sound. Get me through this mess. And every night the beer flows too fast like a raging river. My poor liver, she never rests.
So yeah, man, go check those guys out.
Cool.
How long before you guys get your you guys been doing some recording, right?
Yeah, so we did a recording, and well, we don't know when we're gonna get those tapes. We're working on just figuring out dates and recording for ourselves by ourselves. Although Thomas isn't he's going to Nashville soon and talking with some people. So I mean, stop by and say you were some of the first people. If you want to check out any dates that I have personally, my Instagram is at Zane_Martin_26.
Do we not have this? Can you not work these?
Hold up.
Go to text. Go to text.
Text.
God, this stupid camera. Go to text. You see it? And add new ticker. So for those of you that know, I am maybe a history of being a musician. So if Zane sucked or Madison, my daughter, sucked at what they did as being musicians, I would have steered them in a different direction because I have a reputation to protect. So the fact that I'm supporting them, if you don't know me, doesn't mean shit. But if you do know me, means a lot. Zane, your squad is super talented. It's so fun. I got to see them. I got to see them their very first show, and I have not seen them live since, except through streaming. And streaming, we just put it on in the background and we put together Lego or something. Like it's great. So done doting on my son. Again, my daughter was fantastic. Is fantastic. I don't even know if you even have a Marimba anymore, Madison. I think you're no longer Eris Corban, who you'll see. That's my daughter. I know you, Dr. Dana.
Marimba is still in the family.
Is it?
Not in Oklahoma.
Yeah. Mama Marimba. All right. You know what? It has been 2 hours on the dot. So let's bounce. You know what? It's been great. Thank you, Debbie. Cameron, we'll see you here in a minute. Andrew, jump on too. We'll have some fun. Anyone else want to jump on Discord? You got to hit us on the DM for the early access. Oh, and yes, we will have some merch and some shirts and all that. Hopefully by next week, we'll have a link. You can go get your shit. So remember, kids, peace is a lie. There's only passion, but I can't end this because I didn't set up this properly. Hold on. Okay.
How does that work?
Now we're ending. All right. Peace out, folks.